Okay, here's our next one. Write this down. Y equals, now I want to give us a new amplitude. So we'll call this, we'll give it an amplitude of 2. Something really simple. Then we have a sine, and then let's change our period. Let's make our period bigger this time. So this time we're going to put it at, we're going to say 1/2 x. So let's see what happens when we have a 1/2 x. All right. The 2, wait. Which letters do we not have up here? There's no K and there's no H. So there's no shifting. There's no phase shift. The phase shift is a horizontal shift. We'll call them a hori shift. All right, so that's none. Hori is short for horizontal. Come on, guys. Okay, now what about my period? The period is 2 pi multiplied by the reciprocal of the W. And my W is 1/2. So what's the reciprocal of that?
Pi.
Nah, girl. It's dose. 2 over 1 is the reciprocal of 1/2, and so I get 4 pi. My period is 4 pi. Now the A, which is this 2 right here, changes the amplitude. It changes the max and the min. So I'm going to put 2 right there because the amplitude is no longer 1. Now, did we move up or down? No. So our y-intercept stays at 0. We'll do the x-intercepts and maximums at the end. All right. So we put our period right here. 4 pi. Now, what is this? What are these x values going to count by? So we have 4 pi, and what are we supposed to divide it by? 4. So we can find all of them, which is just
2
pi. 4 divided by 4 is
2.
4 divided by 4. Thank you. Okay. 1 pi, so we have 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and then 4 pi. It always works out. It always counts up because we divide it by 4. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, and then we have, and then we do the same thing that we've been doing with the sinusoidal curve, and that is center line and then maximum. What's my maximum now? It's not 1.
2.
It's 2. It goes up 2. Center line, minimum is -2. And then we have the center line again, so this is what our graph looks like. It's good to note that this is 0, the center line is 0, this is 2, and this is -2. And so how would this look on our graph? Do we have a 4 pi on our graph? It only goes to 2 pi right here. So really, all we're going to see is this part of the graph. So, that was a funny sneeze. Yeah, oh, upside down U. So, the first point is 0. Which is right here. The second point is pi, 2. So at pi, we're going to go up to 2. And then the next point is at 2 pi. So we only get to see this. We're only looking at this part of the graph. So how would we describe the x-intercepts? Well, because my graph only goes from 0 to 2 pi, we only have to list 2 x-intercepts. That's 0 and 2 pi. We don't have to list the 4 pi because it's not on our graph. Question, Jacob?
So if the period extends longer than a given graph, we only have to put whatever period.
Right. Well, I think if you look at our directions, it says graph it from 0 to 2 pi. And so that's the only part you're going to see. And then our maximum is going to be 2. And our minimums, which would be a -2, you can't see. Our minimum in this window right here is actually going to be 0 and 0. Even though we know it's going to go to -2, the window that we're viewing only goes from 0 to 2 pi. If it went farther, then we would see that the minimum goes down to -2. Does that make sense?